The dogs are howling. Wow. So I just finished Deltarune, not just finished. Earlier today I finished Deltarune Chapter 1. And I was about to start recording my Chapter 2 Let's Play. Because I've had quite the relationship with this, okay? I have so many thoughts that I just wanted to get all my thoughts about Chapter 1, what I know going into Chapter 2, out in a specific video, because if Deltarune Chapter 2 is paced anything like Chapter 1, there's not, like, enough breaks, right? Undertale was, like, kind of slow. It had points where, like, you're just walking down corridors and there's encounters. But Deltarune Chapter 1, it was, like, constant enemies saying things, your party members are speaking, right? So there was just so much that I didn't have enough time, I felt, to give my long-winded explorations of my thought. I tried to, but I feel like I worded them bad every time, and I've also been ruminating on it all day. So I beat Chapter 1 last night as of recording this, and I liked it. Let me pull up some of my Discord combos with my friend to help me follow my train of thought. Okay, so I really liked Chapter 1 when I was playing it, right? I was like, this is fun. But by the end of it, I was, I don't know, I was starting to get a little tired of it. I felt like the boss fight with the king was tedious. And I still feel like that's not a super strong boss fight, to be honest, but on the second run, after I fought Jevil, I enjoyed it like a much more, and I was paying a bit more attention to the things he was saying, and after that, I came away with the game appreciating it much more. So, coming into this game, it was a week after beating Undertale Genocide Run, right? I'd been playing Undertale for like a month or two at that point, and I absolutely loved it. And then I come into this game after a week break, and everyone is like, Deltarune is so much better than Undertale. My friend, Deltarune is the funniest game I've ever played. On Twitter, I hear, my friend also said Deltarune made me not even care about Undertale. On Twitter, I see, Deltarune combat so good Undertale feels unplayable now. Deltarune makes Undertale seem like a bad game, right? So I'm seeing all these things. It's so hyped up in my head. It didn't stand a chance for me to love it the way that I should have, man. It did not stand a chance because it was so hyped up. My expectations were far too high. And I think I acknowledged that in my first Let's Play. But I do want to emphasize I did enjoy it while I was playing. But then I went to sleep and I woke up and I was just thinking about it. I was thinking about that awesome ending. The ending, what a fantastic cliffhanger. I feel so sorry for everyone who had to wait 3 years for more. The beginning, what a fantastic intro to a video game. You're doing all this. You're making all these decisions. You're building a character. Boom. That shit don't matter, bro. Right? That is so hype, isn't it? Isn't that so cool? And throughout the game, she'll ask you something, right? And then you go to choose something. No, your choices don't matter, Chris. And initially, I kind of considered that as my choices don't matter. But I think it is, literally, Chris's choices do not matter because I am probably in control. Because Chris and me controlling Chris are very clearly two different entities in this game, right? I felt that that was a bit of a thing in Undertale, but here that seems like an emphasis. I feel like this is also really showcased in the prison scene, right? When Susie is leaving her cell. I said cell weird there. She's leaving her cell, and we're seeing it. We left Chris's POV, right? That never happened in Undertale. So, and this isn't even a huge deal in most games, but we leave Chris's POV, and we're seeing Susie, and we have the option to influence what she does. And she, like, hears something. She's like, is that Chris? But I don't think that was Chris speaking. I think that was us. And that is super interesting to me. So Susie's constantly talking about choices. The narrator, whoever this person is at the beginning of the game, constantly think your choices do not matter. And then I think that this was also emphasized with Susie. We could not control her, right? It didn't matter what we wanted to do. She was going to attack. Until the end, we eventually got her on our side. So all these things, your choices don't matter. Choices don't matter. And my friend, he says, you can kill everyone. It does not matter. But I didn't want to do that. I ended up going pacifist anyways. Because all this talk about choice, and Rouse is like, you have the choice. You have the choice to fight or to be kind. You need to be kind. And I took that to heart because I love that little fluffy boy. And while I assume, since my friend has played Chapter 2, it doesn't matter up to that point, eventually the way that you've been playing the game will matter. I have that feeling. And also, I just like acting. It's fun for me. I like to play the game that way. That was the most fun way to play Undertale, so I'm going to continue keep doing it that way, right? And then we get into like this AU alternate timeline, whatever is happening, right? It's so weird because I believe this might be wrong, but I believe I have read and heard that Toby Fox says Deltarune is not a sequel to Undertale. But when I download the game, it says for people who played Undertale. Right? And all these characters in like the town, the normal setting, are characters, not all of them, but most of them are characters from Undertale. They share their names. They kind of have similar personalities. Some of them have similar relationships, like Toriel and Asgore. Now, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, we're just reusing well-loved, well-designed, cool characters in a different reality, or different timeline, right? That doesn't mean anything. But then, when you interact with them, you can acknowledge stuff, right? Most specifically notable with Sans, I feel. Because Sans is like huge. He's like the face of Undertale, pretty much. So, you say, hey, nice to see you, friend. It's been a long time. Because it's been years since Undertale came out, right? He's like, I have no clue who you are. And with Undyne, you can be like, hey, how's Alphys? I don't know who that is. So, the fact that you can interact with the game and acknowledge things that happened in Undertale is just like melting my brain. Like, what is the connection? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm not gonna get it because I doubt it's explained in Chapter 2. And it might never be fully explained. And I kind of like that. Because it's making my brain melt in a good way, a fantastic way, right? And then we go down into like this darkness world. I don't remember the name of the world, I'm sorry. But yeah, okay, another alternate like reality kind of thing. Weird stuff, right? Then we get to Ralsei. And Ralsei is the same species of whatever, you know, Toriel and them are, right? And his name is an anagram of Asriel, our brother. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means. But I like it. It's cool. And Undertale, I mean, Undertale Deltarune, that's an anagram, right? I think that's the word, is anagram. I'm gonna keep using it. If it's not wrong, I'm dumb. Oh well. So there are all these anagrams, right? And then there's Chris, and Chris is almost Frisk. But it's not. It's not Crisp, right? It's not Crisp. It's Chris. But it's so close. It's one letter off. And that almost makes me wonder if in Chapter 2 it will receive Chris's middle name. Will it be like Chris F. Dreamer or something? Or maybe this is me reading too much into it, right? Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know, dude. And then there's the whole thing with the ending. What's the nature of Chris? Is Chris evil? Or like, is Chris just like a normal kid that's like mischievous, right? They were a prankster. They messed with people. That's fine. It's not like a big deal. And if I'm a normal guy, I probably fuck with people too. I'm not like a mischievous little kid, but like I can joke with friends, right? If like I was possessed by a different soul, I would rip it out of my body and then probably grab a knife and be upset and mad at it, right? So that could have been a red herring, but it's reminiscent of the Kara or Kara character, to me. Another similarity being that they are a sibling of Asriel, with Toriel. And we don't even see Asriel, but everyone's talking about him. He's like a hunk. He's a super hot, cool guy, and people like him. Hope we get to see him in Chapter 2. And even before that scene of Chris ripping the soul out, there's such an emphasis once you get back from the Dark World that you're not right. Like, you're reading the information on Noelle's father, Rudy, I think that was his nickname, in the hospital, and he's like, you should know that. Why are you looking at that? Do you not know my name? And you go back in the hospital, and there's a piano you can play. And you play it, and it's horrible. And the dude's like, you're usually pretty good. So there's such an emphasis on you behaving differently, right? So it's not like this Chris, before the soul took control, was like a bloodthirsty killing everyone. They haven't killed anybody, right? That we know of, I guess. They play the piano, they have friends. They're just a little prankster. A little creepy, though, as well, as noted by Rudy. And then you talk to Noelle. Noelle is like, you're acting different. You're like really talkative. It's so weird, and I don't know why. I don't know the answer. And so now I am going into chapter 2. I'm so glad I made this video to just ramble. I have so many thoughts, and I don't know what any of them mean, right? So we're going into chapter 2. Here's what I know about chapter 2. It's a bit unfortunate. I do know about the Snowgrave thing, and it is my fault. Everyone on Twitter, they were like, Snowgrave is nuts. Snowgrave is the darkest thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's nuts. And so I'm like, you know, when that came out, I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking play Undertale. I don't care about this. Let me look it up. I'll look it up. I'll see what the hype's about. So I saw that, but I only saw the, oh, what happens when I use a spell I don't know? I only saw that scene, so that's the only difference I know. I don't know anything about the nice path. I don't know anything that happens on the Snowgrave route. I just know those two things. Did I say two things? Oh yeah, that scene. And Spam Ton, people are like nuts over Spam Ton. Everyone loves Spam Ton. I've seen the design. It's like a little dude with a nose. And he's very white, I think. Isn't his skin white? And he says, he has that song, Big Shot. That's like the Deltarune song right now, right? So that's all I know going into chapter 2. So it's really not that much, but the one thing I do know is like a big thing, right? The Snowgrave thing. That's unfortunate. But I am going to do a nice route and a Snowgrave route. I don't know if there's a proper name for the nice route. Oh, I do also know that there's a person named the Queen, and they have like a xenomorph head and they're blue. I know that person exists. Right? Okay. I would assume maybe they're the final boss. We fought the king here. We fight the queen here. People like the queen. I never heard of the king, and I knew like most of the characters before I started playing Deltarune. I'd just seen their names. I didn't know any of their personalities or anything. I'd never seen anyone talk about the king. I thought it was a mid-boss fight. My friend said he also thinks it's kind of underwhelming, so I think that might be a general consensus. But now my friends are saying Chapter 2 is the reason people start saying that Deltarune is so good. And I know that when Deltarune Chapter 1 released, it was like the demo, right? So a combination of people just telling me that Deltarune Chapter 2 is better than Chapter 1, when I already enjoyed Chapter 1. But that, along with me fully being into it, like, it did click. It clicked late for me. I was enjoying it. And then it clicked. I was like, okay, I'm loving it. But then it was over, right? But now I'm in it. I am in it going into Chapter 2. No, I am going to adore it, I'm fairly certain. I almost don't want to play it because I know I'm probably going to have to wait years for Chapter 3. But also I can't not play it because it's all I can think about. I was going to record more DuckTales today, but like I was like, I can't do it because the reaction's gonna suck because it's just gonna be like, Deltarune, 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 Deltarune. So I am going to start Deltarune Chapter 2 now, and you guys will see those videos soon. And thank you guys for watching. Peace.